All right, and I think we're live. Brandon, how you doing, man?
Good man, how are you doing?
Wonderful. Thank you for being on the podcast. I see you're a very busy bee. You're covering a lot of videos. How long you been doing this?
Hardcore for at least 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
And then just real quick for the listeners, where's your channel? Where can people find you? And tell them a little bit more about what you're doing.
All right, so I'm Brandon Bicasso. I run the Brandon Bicasso channel on YouTube, and essentially what I do is I make YouTube videos about motorcycles, and yeah, my specialty, I guess, or my niche in this community is muscle bikes. I ride a V-Rod Muscle, and I have a Suzuki N109R, and but I'll ride anything, but that's just what I personally own.
How long have you had the V-Rod muzzle?
Coming up over almost a year. It'd be a
Almost a
year in
year.
January, but I bought it in November of last year, but I received it in January of this year. So look, right at a year.
How
I love
long?
that bike.
Yeah, it's fucking sexy. The position for me is a little, because it's like straightforward.
Yeah,
Legs are forward. I'm so used to
right.
mid controls and
Mm.
like T bars and stuff. But the bike, it's sexy. It's a beast.
Oh
So
yeah,
you
man. I
you
don't
got
like
a
the
steal
position
on
as
it.
much. Hmm?
You must have got a steal on it getting it last year.
Yeah, I think I paid right at 9,500 for it. That shipped and everything. And now the thing, man, is going up in value. So I can essentially sell it for what I paid for it and probably put another 5,000 miles on it and sell it for what I paid for it. So the market for those things is crazy, especially over there in Russia. It's crazy.
Oh, I'm sure. I know this is kind of random, but I picked up. I put the deposit for the Cybertruck,
Really,
and
the Tesla? Oh, sweet.
yeah, the Tesla Cybertruck, and I'm so excited about it. And I got a buddy of mine that told me, "Hey, man, when you get it, there's some people from Dubai. They'll pay you like 150, $200,000."
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, "What? Really?"
I mean, it's kind of like yeah, it's definitely gonna have a flip aspect to it because the I'm pretty sure the orders for them already were backlogged right when they came out with the pre-orders for them. So whoever gets them first, they can easily flip them for a profit right off the bat. So
Yeah, yeah. I put it. I want to say the day of, and I think my place. I was just looking at my place after he told me that. I'm like in the first 100,000.
oh
You know,
yeah,
and I did
yeah.
the tri motor, which now they just upgraded to four motors. Did you see that?
Oh man, no, I didn't see it.
So
I
the
think
the latest release is they instead of the tri motor, it's going to be four motors, and then they're going to add the crab walking, like
oh, we
the
can go like sideways and
where you go
stuff. Yeah.
sideways, and it's going to be all steering. The back tires are going to turn too.
Oh wow, they I think who was it that came out with that first? Was it Rivian when they first showed it anyway? The
I think so. I think the
yeah.
whole idea. Well, if I remember correctly, back in the days, GNC they had a Denali pickup truck. I think it was a Denali, but it had the back tires that would turn, and it
Oh
didn't
wow, I
catch
didn't even
on
know
to. Yeah,
I
this
didn't even
was
know
like,
years ago.
10 plus years.
Oh wow.
10
I didn't
plus.
even know that was a thing for rear drive trucks. But that's interesting.
Yeah,
Rear
they
drive
do it
trucks. I
because
didn't know
your U-turns are gonna be a lot tighter.
that.
So,
Mm,
because the chassis and everything's so much longer, you get
right.
a tighter U-turn. So they did it. I think it was very little. It was very little, but it made a difference, and I remember they did it, and now all these electric trucks are doing it, and Elon's like, "Well, we launched, the Cybertruck 3 years ago, but since all these updates are coming on, the crab walk, the rear wheel, the more motors," Elon said, "Fuck it, let's bring it out. Let's get
Right.
let's add all the features."
I've definitely seen a sports car do that before, like when it's turning into a curve really fast, the rear wheel will slightly like the camber of the wheel will turn also
Yeah.
with the front wheels. Yeah, I have seen that, but I never thought that the trucks were doing that before electric because that's the first time I ever. Well, it's not that I didn't think it was possible. It's just that was the first time I was exposed to it. So
Yeah.
I never thought GM was doing that, but that's cool.
Very
That,
cool.
that's really
How
cool.
When'd you start riding?
I started riding in 2012. First bike was a Suzuki M50. Then I upgraded to the 109 shortly after that. I think like a year later. So,
How'd you get into riding?
my uncle. Well, I kind of always had a thing for it. I rode dirt bikes like in middle school. like once or twice. Nothing like I had one, but I rode it at like camp. And then when I got older, my uncle bought a I think it was like a 2000 early 2000s Honda Shadow, and he was riding. And then I found out that he was, and then he showed me how to ride around like 2011. Then by that time, I saved up enough money and bought my own in 2012. So
Nice.
been around about 10 years almost.
Nice, man. And then you've been taking a lot of safety courses or classes or just all straight
No,
experience?
I kind of always had that natural ability to like ride four wheelers and not whiskey throttle and stuff like that because I play a lot of video games. So I always had kind of good hand eye coordination. But I when I first got my first bike, after he showed me how to ride, he basically put me on the back road and said, "This is how you ride it. Go learn how to ride it." And that's what I did. When I got my own, the very first day I got it, we brought it back from Georgia, and that night I literally rode on the highway. No gear. I had a helmet on and threw me straight off into the deep end, and that was that. But later on, I wanted to start test riding bikes, so that's when I had to get the M endorsement on my license, and then I wanted a decrease in my insurance, so I did end up taking the safety course, probably like I think maybe a year and a half into my riding career. But I think I haven't taken one since though. It's been probably 6 or 7 years since I've taken one. No,
Yeah.
no. The last time I took one was in 2016. That's the last time I took one, but it wasn't for like I think there's this association that does that used to do it like once a year. They have like the beginners course, the little figure eight, and the advanced course, but now they haven't done it in a while. But that's last. I think 2016 is the last time I did one.
Yeah. Did you do it for did you pick up any new skills from it, or it's just kind of like you just did it just to do it?
Um, I just did it just to do it, but then I got on the advanced course, and that's when I learned. It was more about the. That's when I learned kind of how to come to a stop without putting my feet down, and I can kind of like speed up to a stop and then immediately stop and then keep going, kind of deal, feather the clutch and everything. And then the figure eight was pretty interesting, but I haven't been able to do a figure eight on my 109, mostly because I don't want to drop it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's always something to learn on bikes, but I uh, I haven't been on a course in a while, so I'm definitely due for a refresher.
Would you agree that the bigger the bike is, it's kind of like for me, it's easier to do the figure eight or the tight circle on a bigger bike than a smaller bike?
Yeah. So when I did my figure eight training, it was on a 2016 Suzuki GSX S1000. And for me, trying to throw a smaller bike that you're able to essentially knee drag on in a figure eight, because it tends to lock the handlebars more easier
Right.
versus a big touring bike. Yeah, I can agree with that. The bigger touring bikes for me are a little bit easier to throw over too, because they naturally just like to fall over. But
They
like a
naturally
sports
oh,
bike,
yeah,
you really have to get off of the bike for it to really corner.
counterbalance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the counterback. Yeah, so that's something that I wasn't comfortable with it at the time, and plus that bike didn't have any engine guards on it, so I didn't want to drop it either. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and
but
I
yeah,
think
I can
and then
definitely
there's
agree with
that
that.
whole thing with the back brake. When you hold the back brake and you're on a tight turn, the bike kinda stands up on its own, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, you like trail braking? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's called, trail braking.
yeah.
And that's something that people it's funny 'cause, I had a street glide. I have a street glide now, but back in the days, like 10 plus years ago, I had a street glide and I was gonna do, the DMV test, and this guy was telling me that, "Hey, man, I got a scooter, give me a six-pack of beer and you can use my scooter." So the
Oh
day
wow.
of my DMV test, I called him up, he didn't answer the phone, and I was like, "Shit, man, well, you know what? Let me just try with the street glide because this guy's not answering and this is my appointment." So I went with the street glide, and it's funny because people see a bigger bike and they're like, "You're gonna do it on that?" Like, it's so
Right.
mind-blowing to people, like, "Really?" And I was like, "Well, I don't have a choice." And when I did it, I was like, "This is pretty easy because 'cause I've been riding my street glide for years really at that point." So I passed it, and everybody's just, "Wow." And then I was like, "You know what? This is way easier than a Dyna or most bikes." Now I got a BMW, and the BMW's I mean, it's so light to turn around, it's amazing. Have you ridden the
I've been,
GSs?
I have not. I haven't ridden a
No,
single GS. I think the only BMW I've ridden is the R18 and the long time ago the R what is it the R9T.
yeah.
Those are
But
the
you
only
rode,
BMWs I've ridden.
which adventure bikes have you ridden?
Just the Pan America. That's it.
Really?
That's it.
That's crazy. And then what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I think it's incredible, man.
You
I think
loved
it's
it?
a really fun bike. Oh yeah. I mean, like I said in my video, that bike opened my world up. That it opened me up to a world I didn't even know I craved, man. Adventure riding is amazing.
It's
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 amazing.
it's fucking outstanding.
But I tell you that when you have a bike like that, if your first bike is a Pan America or the GS, it's like the amenities and the features that those bikes have makes it so much easier. Like they're
Absolutely.
so advanced that it makes it where anybody that doesn't know how to ride those bikes on those trails can ride those bikes on those trails. So
What I catch myself doing on the GS versus the Harley is the Harley, I'm more focused on riding, on the streets. It's a street bike.
mm.
The GS, I've caught myself riding on the sidewalk, dirt
Oh wow.
paths, hills, because in LA, when there's a lot of traffic, I'm like,
Mm.
there's a sidewalk right there. I'll
Yeah.
take and I've
I
passed
hadn't thought of that.
police officers. I've passed police officers and they're just like looking at me like, you can't be doing that. And I'm like, I'm sorry. There's just so much traffic. Boom. And you can go anywhere. It's like a monster truck.
Yeah.
It's like a monster truck. You just go everywhere.
Yeah, it's definitely different. Some people ask me if I would have bought one, and I said I would. And of course, like I said, I don't have a lot of experience with adventure bikes, but that bike really set the bar high for me. But even then, if I were to buy one now, it would mostly be on the street. And honestly,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it to ride on the street. I want to ride it on dirt. And around here, we don't have a lot of trails for me to ride that type of bike on dirt. At least a bike that costs that much and can do so much, right? I would have to definitely get something a lot smaller and a lot cheaper for me to justify even having one.
Yeah.
Um, but
But you'd be surprised how comfortable those bikes are on the road.
oh, for sure.
On
No, it's like not to cut you off, but the ones that we had the knobby tires on it,
Yeah.
and like cruise control, heated grips, windscreen. I was right in the pocket of the so I didn't get wind buffeting. Dude, it was perfect. I was perfectly comfortable on it, but for 19 grand, I was just like, nah, I can't justify this thing, man. Even if it's on the street, I just can't because I got two bikes already that will serve the same purpose.
Yeah.
But because I because the majority of the bikes that they're selling of those Pan Americas, they're going to be ridden on the street. Most, that's just how it is. But
Absolutely. Yeah. There's not many
um,
people that are gonna go off road.
no, 100%. But it's just like for you to be able to. Have you experienced the semi-active suspension on it?
No. I haven't rode the Pan America.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, so to me, the coolest thing about it was the suspension, and from what they said, they're the only manufacturer that can do that right now. Outside of, I guess, what is it? That super electric sports bike was it Damon that has the active
Yeah,
suspension,
yeah,
the
yeah.
pegs and all
I
that kind of stuff.
saw
Do
that.
that?
It was into sport
Yeah,
mode and adventure mode.
yeah. So when you're on the thing, outside of the whole, like when you get up to a stoplight and it lets the bike down like 1 to 2 inches to put your feet on the ground. What's interesting is when go from off road, because by default the bike is in off road mode, and I think you can change that to like, okay, I want it to be in sport mode when I turn the bike on. But the suspension's soft, it's bouncy. But when
Yeah.
you switch over to sport mode, it instantly firms up. So you don't have to worry about like manually changing it by hand, like trying to set the sag rate and everything. So that's why I said like it's crazy how you can just press a button and it changes the entire character of the bike, the suspension, and everything. So you're on the road, you hit a bump and it's just like you feel nothing. And then
Yeah.
when you see some curves coming up, you just press the button and change it to sport mode. It makes it stiff, and it you know, go through the curves, get stiffer suspension, you get out, then you see a dirt road, press the button, and now you're back on the dirt road.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like I said, that bike is it's my only experience, but the bar is just so damn high. but it's just like it it just has multiple personalities. I'll be curious to see what they do with that suspension system in other bikes. Um, but yeah, it just has a lot of convenient stuff to it.
You got to try the BMW R1250
Oh, for
GSM.
sure.
You have to because it has the same thing with the suspension where it has a
Mm,
dynamic mode, race mode, road mode, off road, and it's got the rain mode. So and then it's got the
right.
traction control. It's got the suspension adjust like I believe 3 inches. So you know you could ride just
So
up.
so that's the part that's interesting. So Harley said they were the only ones that had some part of an active suspension. So what part does the BMW have?
Yeah, I don't understand that statement because the BMW, if you look into
Does it
and if I was
does it auto let up and down when you come up to a
yeah,
light?
oh yeah.
I swear to you, that's what they said in the briefing. I don't know
Oh,
why they would have said that,
yeah, you
but
you got auto mode, so let's say that I'm just riding alone, it'll
mm,
adjust, and then if I get a passenger, it will also adjust, and the
mm,
difference is I wanna say, like, 2.5 inches in
mm,
distance because I'll go from my tippy toes to, like, flat on heel on the floor, and then you got the road comfort mode. I think it's
yeah,
road, comfort, rain, and dirt and dynamic. And then there's a chip that you
mm,
get that's under your seat. Once you plug in that chip, you get that
mm,
race dynamic mode, which is, I mean,
race
it's
dynamic.
like, yeah, exactly. It's dynamic. And then you have the traction control, which if you're riding in the rain, if a tire's slipping, it'll correct. And then you
Yeah.
got obviously the same Brembo ABS, um, heated grips. I didn't know that the Pan America came with heated grips. That's awesome.
Now I don't know if it comes with heated grips, but they gave us all specials.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the special came with heated grips, but not the base. I don't think
Yeah.
the base came with it, but I'm sure the base comes with cruise control though.
For
Definitely.
adventure bikes, I think pricing, they did a great job. I think it's right on point. 19 because if you look at the
Yeah.
Ducati, the Multistradas, the Hyper Mozarts, the BMWs, any of the KTM's, Duke, they're a little bit more than that. So I think price point it's good. I want to ride it, but at the same time, I'm kind of like biased. I'm like I have my streak line, and I have the BMW.
Yeah. I mean, you got the best of both worlds. I mean, you can't say like, you don't. I mean, it's not like you don't want to ride it, but I mean, you have a Harley, you already own one, so
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like my
you
like
don't
my
have anything to prove. It's like, all right,
right,
I got
my
my
streak
BMW. I'm not
light
gonna buy one.
right, my streak light's my streak light, and my off road's my BMW. You
Yeah.
know, are you familiar with Rawhide?
Yeah. I mean, that's what we were.
Oh,
Zakar.
that's where you guys went. Nice.
Yeah. So Zakar stands for Zombie Apocalyptic
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Compound at Rawhide. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you were there with Jim?
Jim is the
Jim's
owner,
the
right?
owner, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He was
Jim
there with.
Hyde?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I had him on the podcast, and he kind of mentioned right before they were gonna launch the Pan Americas, he was like,
Mm.
"I can't say, but I can say, but we're getting the Pan Americas," and I was like, "That's awesome."
Yeah, he's awesome, dude. Yeah, he the day that we did the training, he was the one telling us about like why we look forward and why balance is so
Mhm.
key and he was telling us about the tires and how we have to like counter steer off the bike going into a curve and all that kind of stuff. So he told us a lot of things. Very, 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 very nice guy.
Very knowledgeable. Jim and his
Yeah.
patience is amazing.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Everybody there, man, they were I said this in my video that everybody there was excited that we were there as we were to be there, and at the same time they were excited to show us all their teachings and stuff, and we were all there just like absorbing what they wanted to tell us. So it wasn't like they felt impatient that we're falling off the bike or we had to add something multiple times. They were Everybody there at Zakar is just awesome. Like everybody's
Yeah.
awesome.
Did you get a chance to meet Robert Glass?
Yeah, he's one of the trainers.
He's one of the yeah, he's an
Yeah,
awesome
yeah, 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 yeah. He was a big part of my training and my video, man. He gave me so much support. Like
yeah,
when I was doing the braking drills, I kept messing up, but so we had to do like 3 braking drills where We tested with the ABS on, the ABS off to the rear, or we tested just the front brake and just the rear brake. But I will always mess with the body position. So when I'm braking, like the first time I stopped, but I didn't hold the clutch in. And then the last time he was always at the end. So I would always just the first two people would tell me what to do to fix it. Then when I got to him, I would have everything kind of dialed in, and then he would congratulate me on it and tell me to give me some words of encouragement. So no,
So
Rob's
props.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's dope. We had such a blast. We were here in I want to say by Santa Clarita and like,
Okay.
California. So their facility out there is fun. And we did a training where it was interesting. It was the first of its kind where it was like a business development, class,
Yeah.
and afterwards off-roading. So
Oh
we
dang.
yeah, it was to help you get to the it's stuff like that I was learning at Pepperdine. It was almost better in a sense, and then to afterwards eat good food and then go riding, you couldn't beat that. So I
Um.
want to sign up for another of those classes. What's your favorite motorcycle you've ridden, period, overall?
Oof.
I know that's
Hmm.
hard, but or let's just do it by category.
I say my favorite is probably the XD Oval.
XD Alpha?
I'm just a big muscle guy, a muscle cruiser guy. Definitely the XD Oval. A bike that shocked me and was more fun than I thought it would be was the R18.
I haven't got to
Um,
that one yet either.
yeah, I truthfully did not expect to like that bike as much as I did. That bike was really surprising. And it wasn't so much the power, it was more nimble than it looks. The center of gravity on it works well, and I just think the damn thing is beautiful with the exposed drive shaft. Um, what else?
Did you get to look at the Arch Motors?
Talking with the SNS power plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. I
Keanu
probably
Reeves' brand?
huh? Oh yeah,
Keanu,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I
Keanu.
have the Velamaki. The whole reason I ride with Velamaki bags is because of Keanu Reeves. I saw him in a picture riding an Arch motorcycle in public on one of those freaking tabloid sites that takes pictures of celebrities. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn, he's on the Arch, that the blue KRTG one. And then I saw that backpack. I saw the X clamp. I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I went and looked it up. I was like, oh snap, Velamaki, that's cool. So now I have the Velamaki gear, but one of my dream bikes is a KRTG one. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's like an $80,000 bike, but it's just like, that keeps me motivated to one day get to that point. But I would love to be able to at least ride one just to say I did it, because outside of being a journalist, regular people don't get a chance to ride them. So
Well, here's the deal. I think they're at like number 68. The company's been around for 10 years,
mm.
and I think they're at number 68. They've only built 68 of them or something like that.
Oh
My
man.
last guest that was on the podcast, he has number 44. And every time I ride with him, it's like my streak light looks good, but like when we roll up, they don't even see my streak light. They go straight to that bike. And hearing him talk about what they do is fucking amazing. Number one, they bring in like 1,000 pounds of an aluminum block, and they
Yeah.
shave like 250 pounds or something to make parts for your bike. If you're in California, you get to meet the builders, you get the people, they take your measurements, then you get to meet Keanu Reeves. Like there's
Oh,
so
you
much.
do?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Oh
man, I would lose
yeah,
my
bro.
shit.
So you're paying. Imagine you're paying 80, 90,000 for a
Yeah.
bike built around you, owned by
Hmm.
Keanu Reeves, and then they do the yearly owner
The
owner
ride.
rider. Yeah, the owner rider rides, and it's like, how many companies, like, for example, like Omega will make a watch and it'll be like limited edition, only 15,000 made. That's a lot of fucking
Right.
watches. But when you look at this and there's only 68 ever made, imagine having one of 100 of something, this valuable and this badass. And everything's top notch. That's definitely on my list. But then it fucks you up too, because then you start thinking 80 grand, that's like 3, 4 motorcycles, you know,
Yeah.
that that's like everything I got right now. Right now, I got the GS, the Streak Light, and a Live Wire, and I'm like, would I change all 3 of those for an Arch? But the more I see this, I'm like, I think so. I'm right there. I'm right there. I'm really considering it because it's. I have never seen a bike turn more heads than an arch motor
Man, I haven't even seen one in person yet.
because there's only
But
so
you
many
probably,
made.
but you won't see them out east as much as you would in LA where they make them though. But
Yeah, but
um,
I'm on Malibu every weekend, and I've only seen if it's not my boy's bike, I've only
mm,
seen it twice just ride by me, like, real quick, like,
okay,
vroom. Like, yeah, that was an arch motor, but I haven't seen that thing anywhere, and this is, Malibu every weekend, so it's
wow.
pretty unique. It's definitely one of the most unique bikes out there. What about electric bikes? Have you ridden any of those?
No, I wanted to. I had that. Well, I had the
They're
opportunity at the motorcycle show, but I was there for press, and I
yeah,
could have ridden stuff, but I was so focused on recording and filming and stuff that I didn't get a chance to ride anything. But I did ride one of I think the Yamaha electric bicycles. But to this day, I have not been on a live wire. Haven't been on a zero, but I've filmed all of their press when I was there. Didn't ride a single one.
yeah, yeah, Livewire is, very cool, very cool, no clutch, no gears, just get on,
So you
flip.
said you own one, right?
Yeah.
Do you regret buying it?
You know, kind of, to be honest.
Not because of what it is, but just like has the novelty of it worn off yet?
Here, I'll give you a perfect example. I'll tell you my scenario. I got it for the wife, and she
Mm.
was gonna ride it. She got a little intimidated. So after she got a little intimidated, we parked it. Funny enough, we put it in the living room. So it was just sitting in the living room like a
Mm,
piece of artwork. So that
that's
part was cool.
awesome.
It was awesome. That part's cool.
That's
And
cool.
shit, people and I bought it after Livewire separated from Harley Davidson. So they
Oh,
dropped 10 grand in price, which was perfect.
yours just yours is technically whole value though.
Absolutely. No, 100%. So, picked it up in the living room, it was awesome. The BMW, I took it in to get service, and I told him to check my, Clearwaters, and the Clearwaters LEDs, I had the Dixies. Are you familiar with those?
I've heard of the brand before.
Yeah, they make some of the best, fog lamps and
Mm,
LED lamps in the market. They're amazing. Anyways, the Dixies are the biggest ones they have, and long story short, they had to take off the lights and send them to Clearwater, and I was waiting for them to come back. That
mm,
took almost 2 months, so my
wow,
BMW was out for 2 months. During that time, the Harley gave me an issue, and I was out from the Harley almost a month.
damn.
So the only thing left now is the Livewire. So I said, "Fuck it, this is an opportunity to start riding the Livewire." I got scared. I got scared because I ride a lot of highway and you get
Mm,
70, 80 miles on highway. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to ride somewhere and I'm going to have to charge. And I think the
mhm,
charging factor is so little that for that reason, and that's one of the main reasons it didn't take off that well before, anyways. Plus, the price point was at 33. Now it's at 22.
yeah,
So do I love it? It's fun. It's fun in my living room. It's badass.
yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. I do regret it. I do regret it. I am looking for a way to sell it or trade it in or flip it or do something with it. So,
Interesting.
yeah, I wouldn't recommend it yet. I'm sure in 2, 3 years, it's gonna be
Yeah.
badass, but, like, if you go to Orange County, you're gonna have to find a charging station, and I'm new to the whole EV thing,
Mhm.
so finding a station and seeing how slow the chargers charge right now, it's not the time. It's not the time.
It's good to know.
Yeah,
I'm out
but
here in the sticks, so we might have one charging station per 100 miles. But and plus you can't freaking use the dang line wire on the Tesla charging network. So
no.
um, you know, that's that's the bummer. But if they wanted to increase the wow factor of it, that would be something really awesome to see. But of course, Tesla's gonna have it where they don't want anybody else on it. So
No, there's a company called ChargePoint. I think they have the most, chargers throughout the country, and they're growing. So they're just kinda slow. That's the only problem with that. And
let
the
me
live
ask you this.
yeah.
No, go ahead before I
No, no,
change
no.
subject.
It's just that they're expanding. So they are
Okay.
competing with, Tesla.
I was gonna say I had a conversation with my friends about this. The problem that I have with electric right now, especially when it comes to well, not necessarily motorcycles, is that eventually there's gonna have to be some type of regulation, I think, because if everybody's making their own charging networks, there's going to be fragmentation in the electric network, the electric space. Because like right now, a gas station doesn't care what make or model you have; they just have gas,
Right.
right? But there's no electric stations. It's just everybody has their own proprietary network right now, and it's like, at what point does it become a burden, or is putting a strain on the entire, I guess, rollout of electric?
Uh,
Or if assuming Charging Point or GM doesn't build theirs out, because Tesla obviously isn't going to let anybody, use this. But imagine like you got Lucid, Rivian, Porsche, Tesla,
Audi.
GM. They all have their own charging network, and it's
No, no,
like,
they use an adapter. Like, for example, I have a Tesla,
mm,
and there's an adapter that, like, there's a gas station down the street from me, and it's a
mm.
gas station, but behind it they put charging ports, and it's not Tesla charging ports. It's just the generic ones like ChargePoint. Char
Well,
and then
how long does that take though?
it's not fast. It's not a supercharger.
Right. Okay.
So I also have one at my place. It takes
Mm.
about 6 hours. It
Oof.
takes about 6 hours, but if you go to the mall, they have the superchargers for Tesla, and there it's about an hour and 30 minutes, for a full charge, from, like, 20 miles all the way to 290 miles, you
Yeah.
know? So you could do it, but you're right, it's just not convenient, and they're gonna have to regulate it at some point, but I think there's more companies that are trying to make it so they can charge everybody's car, because it's not Audi making the charger. It's not, you
Right.
know, whatever. It's not these companies. It's just a company that's trying to get
They're
faster.
getting ahead of it.
They're getting ahead of it.
Yeah.
So I think once they get those speeds up, it's going to be better. But one time, it can suck. It really can. Like on the Tesla, it was amazing that I don't have to go to a gas station ever again.
Right.
Like, gas station sucks. Now I don't have to worry about that. But one time I was in Long Beach and I found the charge port, charge station. Number one, there was no Wi-Fi. Mobile service sucked, and it was the slowest charge in the world. It was like 15 minutes for like a mile or something like that. I was like, this
Oh,
is stupid. Yeah, this was stupid, and I had nothing to do. Then I was hungry, and there was, like, no food places I could walk to in the meantime. So
yeah.
it needs to get better, and I live in a little town called Los Angeles, where I'm having these kind of problems,
Right.
so it's like, if
Oh,
it's happening in
geez.
my village, imagine, for the other people, what's going on. But
That's-
it's definitely, there's a lot of fucking cool factors to it. And like I said, the simple fact that you don't have to go to a gas station, because my other car is a truck, a Silverado,
mm.
and when I'm riding that every day, it's driving that. That's every 3.5 days, $100 to fill out. We're almost
I
at
got a
$6.
V8 muscle sedan, so I feel your pain.
Yeah. Yeah. How
I
much
get
is gas
I
out
get
there?
for 93, it's right at 4 gallons. I'm at
$4
$4 a
a
gallon.
gallon. We're at $6.
Woo.
$6 a gallon.
And that's not even for 93, 91, right?
Yeah. That's
Oh
for
my
that's for
god.
that's for 89 or something like that.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
There's
Uh,
no way I could do it.
did you see
And
that?
I get 12 in the city,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, for
2013.
sure. I'm like at 13.5 in
Okay, so yeah, we're in the same boat.
yeah.
Oh.
Did you see that Chinese guy on TikTok? He goes, "Putting gas in California," and he, like, clicks it 2 times, and then he looks at the price, like, $60.
Oh no, I didn't see that. I
It's
gotta go
oh,
look
that
that up.
shit's so funny. That's such a
Oh
good
man.
TikTok video, but it's the truth, man. Shit's fucking terrible right now.
There's one thing I will say about living in the Southeast, man, is stuff like that we don't really have too much of an issue with, like gas. But in traffic, God, I hate traffic. Uh, but yeah. No, if I had to pay $6 in Alabama, because the cost of living here is so much lower. $6, dude, and I had to do that every 3 days. I would sell my muscle car. There's just no way, because I drive it every day. I mean, it's a grocery getter. It's a 4 door. So,
Yeah.
but no, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that if you live outside of California, like you do, if you decided to move to California, all of a sudden you have to pay 13% more in state tax on your income.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that.
So
Oh
just
my
be
god.
so imagine you're making whatever you make, and then just because you wanna live in California, you have to pay 13% more. Give away 13% of what you make. Imagine, would you move somewhere knowing you have to give away 13% of what you make?
More? No.
It's like,
No.
it doesn't make sense. Now, we're from California, so that's all we know, but
Right.
if you're from, like, Nevada or Oregon or Washington where you don't pay state taxes, and you have to come to California and give up 13% automatically, that's a shit deal.
Mm.
Plus, you gotta pay $6 per gas, per gallon, plus rents, plus you gotta deal with traffic. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't
You
fucking
got
make sense.
and you guys have earthquakes.
And well, yeah, we got earthquakes. We got
At
earthquakes.
least you don't get
Um,
hurricanes and tornadoes like we do. But
yeah, but that's every year. Like we last time we had an earthquake, shit, I can't even remember. I wanna say
yeah.
I wanna say '94. I mean, like something big. We felt
Right,
something
right. Yeah.
a few months ago, but
That's true.
I mean, it's but
Well,
it's
wildfires. You get wildfires and smog.
we get a lot of wildfires. Yeah, smog's
That's
gotten
dangerous
good.
stuff, man.
Yeah, smog got a lot better.
Oh,
80s,
that's good.
90s was
I
really
mean,
fucked up.
I like visiting California, but definitely when I'm there. I mean, it's traffic isn't that bad, but
It's
from what I've experienced, but I'm just not used to I'm used to be able to getting to where I'm going pretty quickly. Like
yeah,
my commute to work's 10 minutes,
yeah.
and that's driving across town versus it like me going to Atlanta and it's taking me an hour. I have to leave like 30 minutes or 45 minutes before work to make it, I guess, to even get halfway to work on time. Like that's something that I'm just like not used to.
Yeah,
Like
but
I can leave home at 7:45, 7:50 and make it to work on time.
yeah, you're not leaving anywhere at set. You're not making it anywhere at 7:45 to anywhere. And 10 minutes is 10 miles, right?
No, 10 minutes is like uh probably, yeah. It's about 10 miles, like 7 or something, yeah.
See, 10 minutes, when you talk to somebody in California, when you say 10 minutes, that's like 2 miles.
Oh
When
no,
somebody's
man.
like,
That's
"How far how
crazy.
many miles is it to this place?" You're like, "It's about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes." Well, how many, what's that translate in miles? About 2 miles, 2, 3 miles. That's what's fucking crazy.
That's another reason I hate going to Texas. Texas is the exact same way. I love visiting. I have friends there that ride bikes. Sometimes I'll just fly in and we hang out, or I ride the bike up over. But it's Texas doesn't even have a lot of traffic.
Yeah,
Texas is just big as fuck. Like you might be driving 45 minutes just to get to where everything is or
'cause
where you're
it's so
going.
big, yeah.
Yeah, and what's crazy is like in Austin, you'll just be like driving, you'll see an IKEA, and 2 blocks down the road there's a freaking cow pasture. You're just like, what the hell?
What's
And then you
going
might see a skyscraper, and then next to that you'll see an old cottage. Like it's just like Austin's a weird place, man.
That's
But Texas,
random
it's
as
just
fuck.
it's just huge. Texas is freaking huge, man. You're just forever driving.
You could have, like, a neighbor that lives, like, what, 15 minutes away, 10 minutes away?
Yeah, like I mean, and it's not everywhere. Obviously, you have like suburbs and cul-de-sacs and stuff, but yeah, like Texas is there's not one thing there. It's just like you can't have like progressive neighborhoods or farms. You got like all of that shit mixed together. It's just
Yeah,
all of it's just mixed in weird places.
that's fucking insane. I gotta check out Texas. I drove by.
Texas is cool. It's
Yeah?
beautiful. Like, yeah, I mean, you're downtown, skyscrapers, farms, and then next thing you know, 5 miles away, there's a fucking waterfall. Like, it's just in nature. It's just weird.
And
Austin's
then
a
you
weird place. I mean that in a good way, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you can carry your guns out there, fucking
Yeah, like
concealed yeah, it's fucking amazing.
barbecue's amazing. Everything's just bigger. Their portions are bigger, food's bigger. The personalities there, the people there are really nice. The people there are really nice. So,
It's funny. I was in Dubai a few years ago,
mm.
and there was this couple from Texas, and they were they were
Oh
like,
god.
"They say in Texas, things are bigger, but compared to Dubai, not really, because
Oh,
Dubai
yeah, no,
is
Dubai
so
is
fucking insane."
everything's extra there. What they're
It
the
was funny to run
biggest,
into
tallest
people from
building in the
Texas.
world.
Yeah. Yeah, the tallest building in the world. It's just everybody's fucking competing and stuff. What about lane splitting? There's no lane splitting where you're at, right?
No, and even if they legalize it tomorrow, I will wait a year and probably two before I even attempt it because the people here give no fucks.
Well, that's here's the thing. I can't imagine riding without lane splitting. I lane split
Oh
fucking
man.
all day, all night. Fucking, I feel more comfortable lane splitting than anything else. That's the honest truth.
Well, here's the thing, you guys. So lane splitting where I'm at, it's not as bad because the traffic isn't. Oh, not having it isn't as bad because we don't have as much traffic.
Yeah,
But the people here, if you jump line, they will open car doors on you.
I know that
So
was
that's they are very just selfless and disrespectful as far as traffic goes. So if the law was tomorrow, federal law that said lane splitting is legal nationwide, I would just go, yeah, no, I'm not doing it where I'm from. But when I was in LA a few years back when I had an Indian chieftain, I flew out there and picked up a bike. I was just riding normally. I was like, yeah, I'm just sitting in traffic. And then next thing you know, the sport bike just comes flying past me up lane splitting. And I was like, shit, I forgot I could do that here.
yeah,
Then since then I was just lane splitting. So I was like, yeah, this is amazing. Because everybody there expects you to do it. So you
100%,
kind of just get out the way. But here
100.
in Alabama, they just like, oh no, if I'm in traffic, you're gonna wait with me, even though it's 95 degrees outside. I'm like, dude, I'm cooking over here. Come on. So
Yeah, I got a taste of that in Vegas. I was there with Eagle Riders, and we had like a big
okay.
event, and then we did this crazy ride. And as we're doing this ride, we got 100 bikes, and I saw like two cars forcing their way in between the bikes. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like that doesn't happen in California. And I ride up to the lady's window and I bang on her window while riding. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, I'm trying to get the fuck in there. Move. And I was like, oh, fuck. And she forced her way in there. And I was like, this sucks. Afterwards, we were a buddy of mine. We were like, let's ride back to LA. We started riding back to LA on the 15 and it was raining. And as it started raining, and there was a lot of traffic because it was a Sunday. So, Sunday, just to give you an idea, Vegas to LA is about 3.5 to 4 hours. On
Mm,
Sunday, it's 5 to 6 hours because of the traffic, because everybody's leaving, right?
right.
So I was like, split lanes? He's like, yeah, let's split lanes. As we were splitting lanes, people were fucking aggressive. If they saw us coming, they would jump in front of us. They would fucking scoot their cars. I would be up ahead, no problem, but they would block my boy off. I was like, this is
Yeah.
fucking ridiculous. I've never experienced that except for like in Nevada. And I hear
Yeah.
that's how it is in Texas and other states. But I can't live without lane splitting, I'll be honest. It makes no sense to be fucking taking up a car spot and being stuck in
Oh, for
traffic.
sure.
It makes no
Yeah.
sense.
Especially when it's hot as hell, man. You just sitting there like
Yes.
baking and like, cause I ride with gear all the time, no matter what the weather is, and you're just sitting there at the stoplight, just sweating your ass off. And they're just sitting there with eight cool AC, and then they look at you, and you're just like, okay, I'm a lane split, and then they just like, no, no, you don't lane split. No, you sit here with me, dude. Come on, people are crazy, man.
People are definitely crazy. How many months of the year can you ride out there?
I ride all 12.
All 12? So
Yeah.
it's not extreme weather
No,
like
so the coldest, I mean, it snows where I am maybe once a year,
yeah.
and if that once maybe like flurries, snow flurries, it doesn't actually stick. We do get ice sometimes, but the coldest it'll get where I'm at is probably like low 20s. Sometimes it'll get in like 18 or 19, very rarely, but mostly low 20s. And yeah, I ride year round. So, like I said, my commute's 10 minutes. Even if it's just me going to and from work, I get some riding in. So, but man,
You
Alabama's weather is so weird. It can be 20s one day, and the next day, dude, you're looking at low 70s. You're like, what the shit is going on? And the next
yeah,
thing you know, you got fucking a cold or the flu because the temperature's fucking you up.
that's crazy. I just listening to you say 20s, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Is that even realistic? 20s?
Like today, for instance, it got down to 44, high 53. Wednesday is 42, high 62, 41, 67, 61, and the high of Friday is going to be 78. And then Monday is going to be a low of 36.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it's like it fluctuates here.
But you could totally ride all 12 months.
Oh yeah, 100%. Man, last year we had a day in December that got up to 80.
Really?
Yeah,
Global
yeah,
warming.
yeah, got up to 80.
What
So
about,
I mean,
heating gear? What do you ride with heating gear?
no, no
No
heating
heated
gear. I
vest, no
should.
gloves? Yeah,
I've used the little hot hand packets.
yeah,
That a lot of people that work outside, like football players and construction workers, the little packets that have coal in them and they activate by air.
yeah.
I've had those before, but outside of that, no. I normally just have really insulated gear. I need to have heated gear, but I don't.
I'm laughing because 'cause we're fucking pussies out here, man. Here it gets to, like, 55, and I'm like, "Oh, man, I gotta get a heated seat. I gotta get heated.
Oh, yeah. I
I
mean,
gotta turn on all this shit."
it's all relative, man. Like
Right.
I had a guy on YouTube that was tripping out because on the Indian event I went on when I wrote the chief, there were people I had mentioned it was cold because we were riding in higher elevations and there was snow still on the mountain. So, the wind chill and the atmosphere was like 40s and you're high up. And I was like, it's cold. And they were like, it's cold. That's normal weather for us. We ride with year round and everything. And I was like, dude, everybody here is from different parts of the country. We all experience weather differently. Me, I can ride in the 30s just fine. But somebody else that's from California or Florida, they ride in the 30s or 40s or whatever. They're freaking cold or 50s. Because
Yeah,
there are a lot of people that had like those clear plastic gloves under their regular gloves to keep the wind out. But me, I was like, oh shoot, I ride in 30s. This is nothing to me. I had on my summer gloves and I was fine.
yeah,
But yeah, you just got people that when they see other people, like we say, you guys are pussies. I was like, man, it's relative. So
yeah.
if you're freaking cold, you're just cold.
No, that's it. No, it's funny because, well, I'll go to Miami, like, during right now, January, February, and I'll go swimming in the ocean, and the locals look at me like, "You're crazy, it's freezing." I'm like, "This is warm compared to, like," because our ocean's cold.
Yeah.
Pacific's so much colder, but yeah, you're right. It's just it just depends, whatever you're coming from.
Oh yeah.
How do you do in the heat?
Oh, so I'm pretty used to the heat, man. The humidity here is fucking awful. We have over like 100% humidity most days in the summer. So you go out there, man, and you're just a sauna box, just sweating. And a lot of people around here don't wear gear, but when I had my accident, I didn't have a jacket on, so I was like, I'm not gonna get caught slipping again. So regardless, I've just learned to regulate my body temperature as best as I can, wearing base layers and continue to hydrate and stuff, so it's less bearable on me.
Yeah,
Oh well, yeah, yeah, it's more tolerable to be in the heat, but I wear my gear year round, all the time. No matter it's hot, it gets up to like 95, 100, and like I said, it's just pure, just swamp, swamp butt, swamp ass. Gear sticking to you. You get up, you sit on the seat for like 3 hours. Your butt feels raw. Everything's just sticky, but it's better than hitting that hot ass tarmac.
oh my
So,
god, and
uh,
what happened with your accident?
man, I had a damn tank wobble at like 70 miles an hour on the Indian Scout, and
Yeah.
the bike threw me off on the interstate. And the bike, once it corrected itself, it just kept going up the highway. Didn't even fall over. Went through the
Oh,
bushes and fell over.
so
So
it got the wobble and you fell off it and it just kept going?
yeah. So I mean, I don't
Like,
know
it
if you ever seen the
bounced you
Indian
off, or
Scout.
yeah, yeah, of course.
I mean, the damn thing, the seat's only like this damn big, so it's
Yeah, yeah,
not. I didn't have. I basically just lost my seating, and I kind of just fell off on the side, and bike corrected and kept going.
and you weren't
So
wearing any gear.
no, I had my helmet and gloves. Broke 3 fingers. Had a fuck ton of road rash, and yeah, that's
That's
what
the
happened.
worst, man. The road rash is the worst.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially when you can't like take a bath and you have to have somebody like literally
Mm,
wipe you because your fingers are broken and you can't reach back because your shoulder blades are just full of road rash and it hurts to even breathe.
yeah,
So I was just like, I'm never going through this again. So I was like, if it means me learning how to hydrate better and not get dehydrated and not get over heated, I would just have to do that
yeah.
because that shit sucks.
Oh, 100%.
It
And then
sucks.
talking about your channel, what's the goal? What can people expect and then look forward to? Are you trying to do like an episode a week, a month? Are you gonna start, you know, what
I am
do you
trying
visualize?
to I'm trying to put out the best video I can without getting burned out and without getting bored, which means that if I put out one this week, I put one out. If I put one out the next 2 weeks, I put one out. If I don't get one out this month, I just don't get it out. But when I do put it out, it'll be the best thing I ever put out. But I'm not gonna kill myself over it.
Yeah,
Because I will tell you this, Brandon Bicasso is gonna get his 8 hours of sleep.
damn right.
Because
Damn.
I mean, but
But is that a
truthfully,
goal? Is that a goal, like, to make it better than your last one and continuously?
oh yeah, always. So me at this stage, I have 20,000 subscribers, but my channel is it's a slow growth. I just don't grow fast. It's not that I feel like I don't put out good content. I think I put out phenomenal content, but it's just um my channel just grows slow. So I might get 30,000 views on the video, but that subscriber number is just like it just goes up slowly. And I've just gotten to the point where I'm just like, if it grows, it grows. But if as long as it brings in the views, that's all that matters. Because
That's all that
at the
matters.
end of the day, the subscriber number is just a vanity number. So I mean, the first press event that I got a chance to go to was with Indian back in March, and then Harley Davidson invited me out. So the brands are apparently they see something in me. So at this point, I don't really care about the number,
Yeah,
as
who
long as
cares, right?
the views come in. So again, my goal is to make the best video I can on my own terms, as far as how I feel. I'm not gonna put my health at risk like I used to, because I was so stuck on just trying to grow the thing. Like I want to get this thing to 100,000 subs, and then staying up to 11:30, 12 o'clock. And it's not to say I don't do that. Like this weekend, when I was trying to get that Pan America video, I did stay up to 12:30 to finalize it, but I slept in later because I realized that, I still have a full-time job and I'm still doing this on the side. This thing is nowhere near where I need it to be for me to go full-time. So I, just realized like I can't kill myself over this. But what I can do is that when I do release a video, it could just be the best video that I can possibly put out, even if it takes me longer. Because I realized that when I was just dropping video back and forth, you know, I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted from it. But when I just took my time, thought about it, and just made a really one good video, I saw better results from that. And that's what I've been doing. So Harley Davidson likes it, Indian likes it, and I'm
What else
sure
do you want?
yeah, what else do I want, right? But my goal next year is to try to take this thing full time. I don't know how yet. Um,
Probably look
hopefully
for
I can
government
talk.
sponsors or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know yet, man. It's a lot harder, I think, in this space now to go full time unless you're pulling the views. So you kind of have to get really creative with it. So I that's what I've been trying to figure out these next few months, is how to go full time with it and how to pull more views, or what topics I need to cover, or what direction I need to go, because I am a muscle bike rider. Maybe I need to capitalize on that more. But that's what that's my task to figure out, because um I have the momentum. It's just I need to just capitalize on it. So
Yeah. One of my current favorite quotes right now is, the Denzel Washington one where he says, "If you don't commit, you'll never start, and if you're not consistent, you'll never finish." And it's just it's a strong, powerful. It's simple, but
yeah,
it's so strong and powerful. You just gotta continue doing it no matter what, you
yeah.
know? And as you keep doing it, you're gonna develop new skills and new stuff's gonna pop up and everything. I'm
Oh, for
I'm at
sure.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead. You say you're at what?
I'm at a point where I'm contemplating on, because I've been rocking this with the Ride Boundless name, and
Mm,
I'm contemplating on moving it to Live Boundless, because I feel like motorcycles is a great niche, but then I'm also kind of limiting the niche of interviewing people. And I do this just because I want to pick people's brains. I want to see how people think, and it's kind of the only time where I get to tell everybody, hey, do not call me, do not mess with me. I'm doing a podcast. Leave me alone. And it's just for personal growth and to share the information and knowledge with people.
mm.
But I feel like Ride Boundless has been kind of limiting me because I've had people saying I want to be on the podcast, but I don't know about motorcycles. Or I've had listeners come up to me and saying, "Hey, Robert, I heard a few episodes. I like them, but once you start talking about motorcycles, I don't know anything about bikes." So, again, it's just one of those things that I don't know where it's gonna go a year from now, but you just got to keep doing it.
You should definitely try it. And I mean, a brand name change is simple to do.
Yeah, yeah,
But
it's
I
pretty
mean, you
much
should
just
definitely
changing.
try it, experiment with it.
Yeah. Another thing that I was thinking about is like each episode's called, like this one's RB 55 for 50, 55, 56.
Mm.
I was thinking about the ones that are motorcycle topics. I'll put the RB as in ride boundless, and the ones that are, in general would be the LB, live boundless. I don't know.
That's
I'm,
a
I'm
good
still
idea.
trying. Yeah. So then anybody that looks at the episode can be like, oh, this is motorcycles, or oh, this is just general, So I might do that, but I'll figure that out.
You should definitely try it. Um, yeah. What you're saying about picking people's brains about it? I've been put into the rooms with some people that are doing really well at this in the motorcycle space, and I've been picking their brains the same way you like to pick people on the podcast to figure out things. It's the exact same thing. Um, but yeah, this is one that throw that in there.
Cool. One more thing I'm going to ask you. What advice would you give to any new rider?
To a new rider,
Yeah.
uh, don't take yourself too seriously and just have fun with it, and definitely go all in on safety first. It's not
That- Like gears
it's
or
not
classes
a
or all of the above?
yeah. I say gear, and definitely taking the classes, because one, of course, you get discounts on your insurance, and two, you're learning the right way versus figuring out how to ride yourself from somebody else, like a YouTube video or something, and then you're trying to break bad habits later. So, learning from somebody that's certified to teach you how to ride the right way, teaching you how to avoid traffic, and how to ride through an intersection safely versus just learning how to clutch and throttle. That's just one dimension of riding. Safety is an entirely different dimension of riding. And
Yeah.
somebody that's just starting out, they shouldn't just be focusing on how to clutch and throttle. They need to be focusing on how not to die,
Yeah.
and also how to save your skin when you go down, and just doing things the right way. And then as you get more experience, if you don't want to ride with gear, cool, that's your choice. But
But
riding
definitely start off with
safely, yeah. Start off with as much care that's available as possible, for sure.
Yeah, that's a valid point, and I also bring up and tell people that if you're going to spend whatever you're going to buy your motorcycle for, get ready to spend another 1,500 to 2,500 on gear.
Oh, for
Easily.
sure.
Yeah, because people
Yeah,
start buying
because
cheap helmets and they don't buy jackets, and it's just not worth it.
they fall into the image that a lot of people show on YouTube, man, of not riding with gear. And it's not that I don't judge anybody about it, because my bias is that I had accidents. So of course I want to wear my gear, and I'm biased towards gear. But um people don't care about gear until they go down and they go, shit, I wish I had that gear on. Like, the day I had my accident, I had my jacket with me. It was in my buddy's saddlebag. So, you know,
Oops.
I- yeah, like I had it with me because I was like, oh, it's hot now. I'll ride with it when it's nighttime, because I feel like there's more risk at night.
Yeah.
No, my risk was during the day. So, yeah, everybody talks down about gear and it being hot until they hit that pavement, and then they're sitting there on a bed with bandages on for a whole month, wishing that they had their gear on. So, yeah.
Yeah, I learned a lot of that because 10 plus years ago, I used to be the general manager for Harley Davidson,
Oh,
and
sweet.
and I saw people in accidents, a lot. It's just fucking,
Man.
you just see it, new riders, experienced riders, drunk riders, crazy riders, and just when you see it, you're just like, fuck, man. People wearing slippers, low top shoes. You're just like, what the fuck are you doing? So I kind of picked it up that way. That I learned from others. That's what I decided to do.
Yeah, we all have
Yeah.
a risk tolerance, right? What we're willing to deal with. So,
Yeah. Well, Brandon, thank you for being on the podcast. Like I said, let's do this again. I especially want to get
For
your
sure.
feedback once you do the electrical bikes, and maybe I'll see you at one of these, rawhide, adventures.
You might, man. I got bitten by the ADV bug.
Yeah, that shit's fucking fun as fuck, man. And I want to go to that spot you were telling me. What is it? The car? The car?
Zakar. Yeah.
Zakar.
Yeah,
Zakar. Right,
it's in
zombie
the Mojave.
apocalypse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
zombie apocalyptic. Yeah. I might be out your way again soon, so we'll just have to when I'm back out that way, I definitely let you know.
Cool, man. Well, I'm gonna end it here, and until next time.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on.
Not a problem.